Seems early, but before you know it, you'll be firing up that heater. Is your system ready for winter? Let Premier Heating and Air check it out. For just $69, our trained professionals will come out and inspect your heater and duct system to ensure it's ready for that first cold morning. Call Premier for up to $1,500 in rebates on your new heating system. Also qualify for a $2,000 tax credit on new units installed in 2023. Call today to experience the Premier difference.
Welcome to the Coaches Show. I'm here with head coach and athletic director of Dublin High School, Roger Holmes. Coach, big victory in the Shamrock Bowl Friday night. We had Dooley County roll in here. Knew they were going to come in with a very versatile quarterback and a receiving core, and man, did it all came to perspective in there when they showed up, and one heck of a quarterback. That number 4 they had was an awesome football player. I thought it was going to come to a point where we were going to have to score almost every time we had the ball. Great first and a half. The first quarter and a half was great football, and then your team took control.
Well, we got off to a good fast start. We took our opening drive. We were able to go down the field and get in the end zone, kick the extra point at 7-0. We kick off to them. Their kid mishandles the kickoff. We recover it.
Great start.
Go right back in and score again. This time we lined up in our swinging gate, polecat, 2-point conversion. They missed the line, gave us an opportunity to run it. Now it's 15-0, and we're probably 2.5 minutes into the game. Then all of a sudden it got hairy. They handled the next kickoff. They go down and score, and we swap scores for the next 3 possessions.
Right.
They scored, we scored. They scored, we scored.
It was a foot race.
We scored. So we go into halftime, and I think the score was 44-21,
I think.
21.
44-21.
And so we come back out in the second half. Really about their last drive of the halftime, our defensive coaches made an adjustment on the field. We got to stop there, punched one back in ourselves that put us up 2 scores, which was huge because we knew we had to kick to them to start the second half. And if we go in at halftime up 7, they're getting the ball to start the second half. And if they move it like they had previously, then it's going to be a shootout.
Right.
The rest of the night.
Good second half adjustments, I thought. I think we shut them out the second half. Well, we did shut them out the second half, but some little small adjustments.
Nothing major.
At halftime that helped your DBs, I think, move back some and whatnot.
Well, we made some tweaks to our adjustment. We tried to correct a couple of things that they had hurt us with that we were mis-executing on the defensive side of the ball. It wasn't the scheme, it was our execution. And we had to tweak a coverage a little bit to give us a better opportunity. And then I think it got to the point where we were up 28 or something. We get to the fourth quarter, we're up 30.
Right.
Which meant it was a running clock for the entire fourth quarter. And at that point in time, I think their coaches said, hey, if we keep throwing the ball, stopping the clock, it may get ugly. So they kept it on the ground. We were able to run out the rest of the half. We had our last 2 touchdowns were by backup running backs. Jordan Tobridge had a touchdown run. And Walker had a touchdown run with our 2s in the game. So the last 2 scores were some of our JV kids getting in the game and continuing to move the football.
Going back to halftime, and it was, I think, 44-21 or something like that. But nevertheless, they were going to get the ball.
Right.
And the game at that point was still not out of hand the way they were capable of scoring. I ran up here in the field house at halftime. You were quietly instructing your guys, trying to make some assignments. But I noticed out here outside on the whiteboard out here, Coach Stubbs had two of his coaches, and I mean they were putting the three of them were putting their heads together at the same time you had your group in here.
Well, our halftime, like anything that we do, has a structure to it. We come in, halftime is 20 minutes. So what we do is we come in, we allow the kids to use the restroom or get a drink of water. That ought to take a minute or two, while I have an opportunity to look over the play call sheet from the first half. What did we run? What was good? What was bad? You know, what adjustments we need to make. And then obviously the other night you got 44 points at the half. There's not a lot of adjustments that you need to make from the offensive standpoint. You just need to reinforce a couple of things where you know guys missed their assignments. But what that does is now that has basically given our defensive coaches 8 minutes. 8 minutes. From the time we walk in and they get on that board, they've got 8 minutes before they've got to walk in here and address the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, people out there don't understand. It's very, very structured. You're down to the minute.
Yeah, so the defense now has 4 minutes that they're on the board and they're trying to make that adjustment for 4 minutes, at which time that gave us offensively to kind of get over and say, hey, let's look at this, look at that. My offensive coaches are now using the iPad, going back and making sure, because we were the first ones out of the gate. You didn't have a lot of time. So now they're going back. That gives us a chance to come back for a 2-minute adjustment of anything we might have seen there. We got to adjust and talk about what went on in the kicking game. That's a 3-minute deal. Now all of a sudden you're at 18 minutes. Now you've got to, you know that your guys are headed out of the locker room, and hopefully you've got all your adjustments made.
Do you get any input from team leaders at halftime?
Very seldom. We don't have. It used to be you needed a little bit more of that before you had iPad.
Because it's generally quiet from them, I've noticed.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very short period. There's not much time for, you know, you've got to make adjustments. Now, don't get me wrong. There are times when the biggest adjustment might need to be a butt chewing.
Right.
You know, it's not, it's about your effort or your physicality. But generally, you know, for us, it's making the mental corrections. Being able to figure out, you know, you do all your preparation, you do all your game planning all week, and when you show up on Friday night, teams generally do not change drastically, but they have subtle changes, and you've got to be able to identify those subtle changes.
In 4 minutes sometimes.
And make it to where it's, you know, conducive to be able to make that adjustment. You can't go in and just totally change everything you do either. You know, you just got to tweak and let them see, all right, this is what we anticipated. Now this is what we're getting. Your eyes need to be here or there in this situation.
Well,
so
it's good to hear. You know, folks don't hear this a lot about what actually goes on in a locker room at halftime. You know, you see a lot of clips on TV about college coaches giving their guys the business and whatnot, as you'll call it. But
most of the time, that's not necessary.
Right.
You know, it's hey, you don't have long to get it corrected.
No, you don't.
So if you're ranting and raving for 5 minutes, that's
you're
5 minutes
losing.
less you're coaching.
Right.
You know, coaching, motivation is a huge part of coaching, and sometimes the motivational end is very important. But a good coach is a good teacher, and you've got to be able to instruct on the game and during the game.
Yeah, and you can give a chewing out in 15 seconds if you need
don't
to.
take long.
I've seen it. Yeah, Coach, it'd be a good time to take a break. We're going to come back and talk about the region schedule. We got 3 region games coming up. It's going to mean everything.
From humble beginnings with a desire to serve the Dudley community, Bank of Dudley has grown to 5 locations, serving Lawrence, Twiggs, and surrounding counties. Serving our community since 1905, the Bank of Dudley is looking forward to its 2nd century of community banking. Drop in today to any of our 5 locations: Jeffersonville, Dudley, East Dublin, Veterans Boulevard, and downtown Dublin. Bank of Dudley, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
Allen's Heating and Cooling is your licensed Amana equipment dealer. Trust Allen's Heating and Cooling to install and service your heating and air conditioning unit. Allen services all brands, and with the purchase of a new unit, Amana offers a lifetime compressor warranty. Sean Clark or any of his friendly staff can help you today at Allen's Heating and Cooling. Your Amana dealer. Amana, last and last and last.
I'm Heath Richter, and we just want to invite everybody to come on down to the Houston Clinic and check us out at our new facility. We've been in Dublin for a while now, obviously, but have a new office here, and we'd just like you to come down and see some of the new stuff we're offering. And if you need to get checked out, we'd be glad to do that for you. We've got able to do some ultrasound-guided injections now, and physical therapy, and just a little bit better space, so hopefully we can get you in and out of here a little bit quicker.
Come by and see us today at our brand new location, the Houston Clinic, Medical Drive in Dublin.
Hi, I'm Mark Tarpley, Color Supply and Engine Service. Bad Boy Tractors. We're building on the legacy of Bad Boy brand, introducing a brand new line of small, medium-sized tractors that maintain our history of combining power, performance, and build quality while delivering highest value in their class. With a tractor size to fit any farm or property from landscapers to ranchers, Bad Boy Tractors are positioned to be workhorses in the field. Coupled with our line of Bad Boy implements, cutters, you are all set to make your workday feel less of a chore. Come visit us at Cullen's Engine Supply, 910 East Jackson Street in Dublin, or 826 South Harris Street in Sandersville.
School's back in, and we all know what that means. Then go to the end. Oh! God, get him up. Whether it's football or softball or any other fall sport, Dublin Chevy GMC is here for you. Fall is in the air here in Middle Georgia, but the deals are still smoking hot at Dublin Chevy GMC. Line up in that first group right now. Hey, hey. The scouts say we can't catch, throw, or run well, but they all agree we sure do sell cars well at Dublin Chevy GMC.
And we're back with Coach Holmes. Coach, as I said, we're getting into the, as I say, the meat or the end of the region schedule. We've got 2 away games coming up and 1 home. It's going to mean a lot to where our team is seated in the playoffs and what it's going to be for the rest of the year. We could have 8 games away or 7 games away possibly.
Well, I mean, it's, number one right now, the game Friday night, this Friday night is really the only one that matters. And that one matters the most because that one can secure us the ability to be in the playoffs. Okay, so number one, you got to get in.
Right.
Okay, so this game going on the road, and that's one of the things that we've harped with our young men about throughout the course of this week. Our football team's only been on the road 1 time this year, and that didn't turn out very well.
Yeah, they failed miserably out
we
there.
We went to ECI
yeah.
and did not perform at the level you need to perform at.
They didn't get off the bus.
So the challenge is are we mature enough, focused enough to go on the road and put together the type of game that we played here last Friday night.
It'd be a similar type situation where we were favored pretty big over that team, and now we're playing a team away. This is 0-7.
Yeah. So at
same
the end
similar
of the day,
situation.
We've got to correct whatever we failed at on our last trip going to ECI. So that's number one.
A lot of that's mental, Coach.
Well, possibly. It's always hard. You know, if any coach had the answers to those questions, they would never lose.
They'd never lose a game.
You know, unless it's just so much difference in the talent. So, and again, every young man is different. Every team is different.
That's what makes coaching fun.
And that's all part of the process of trying to get your team to play consistently.
Well, every team's different.
And for us this week, that's my biggest thing going into this week.
How are we going to react?
We've kind of been up and down. you know, we bounced back after the ECI game and had a phenomenal game the next week.
Absolutely.
Then we kind of back down and back up. We're kind of a roller coaster. And for us, the challenge is to continue to get better. You never stay the same in life. It doesn't matter. You know, I've done the same thing. You go on a diet and you lose 30 pounds. All of a sudden you get complacent. You feel real good about where you are, and you look around 6 months later and you've gained 32 pounds back.
Don't throw your clothes away.
You know, so that's one of our major issues, I think, going into Jefferson County. On top of, they're a proud program. They're a program that, for us, over the course of the years, has been some dog fights, a lot of region championship games on the line.
Always got athletes over there, always.
And they, you know, their head football coach for over 20 years, I think right at 20 years, J.B. Arnold.
Yeah, good friend of yours.
This year. I mean, great competitor of mine, but a great friend. You know, I mean, we've talked a lot over the years, not just about, you know, our teams, but other teams and our competitive rivalry against each other. He's talked to me about games where we beat them, and I've talked to him about games where they've beaten us. Well, Coach Arnold stepped down from the coaching ranks this year. He's now their athletic director and finishing up his time in that role.
Going through a change over there.
They're going through that change. Now, when you look at who they've brought in, you know, we know that we strengthened our staff when we were able to bring 3 young men, or 4 guys actually, from Washington County over to here. It made us a better football staff, there's no question. Well, their head coach now was the defensive coordinator for several years at Washington County. He's trying to implement the program as he envisions it should be.
All right.
More along the lines of the Washington County type program.
And it's going to take time.
And
always does.
When you deal with change, you're going to deal with buy-in issues. Kids don't really want to buy in to what the new person is talking. You're sometimes going to have to change expectations about practice, about being at practice, about being in the weight room, being on time. A lot of times kids don't deal with that very well. So they've gotten off to a poor start record-wise. But when you look at them,
what do they look like on film?
Physically, they're big, they're fast, and they're strong. Now, from the defensive standpoint, they have not been a very good football team this year. But you have to go back and look and say why. And it's hard to identify the why, because they're lined up properly.
When you're looking at the players,
physically they look good.
They've always been big.
I think part of their issues may be that up front they have not been able to separate off of blocks, and they've missed a lot of tackles.
Right.
Well, sometimes that's about intensity. If you want to look at the game, the 3 films that we have was Bleckley County, ECI, and Swainsboro. They competed extremely tough physically against ECI.
Good teams.
They probably played their best football game offensively of those 3 against Swainsboro, who has the best scoring defense in the state of Georgia in our classification, as far as I know. And then the other night, they really did not play very well at all against Bleckley County. But they moved the game to Thursday night. It was a 5 o'clock kickoff, and it was raining.
Right.
And when a team's been beat down, kind of like they've been beat down this year, then all of a sudden that becomes, you know, the mental part of it. I don't think they look like they were ready to play. We anticipate getting the best that Jefferson County has to offer.
Absolutely. They're going to come at Dublin with everything they have. They do every year.
If they want to get in the playoffs, it's a must-win game for them.
Right.
Just like it is for us. And then, of course, they'll finish their regular season play with East Lawrence down the road. So there's another one.
It's another battle
I
there.
guess they've got Well, no, that's all they've got left.
Right.
It's us and East Lawrence. So one win out of those two could very possibly put them in. It's been a miserable year to this point.
Right.
But
it's not over.
the fortunes can change quickly when you're only in a 5-team region.
Right, just like it's going to be for our team. You know, these next 3 games are going to be vitally important. It's going to, you know, coaches look at the next game.
That's it.
The coaches look at at Friday, you know, and you got the public out here who looks at, okay, where we're going to be. The public's looking 3 games down the road, 4 games down the road. You got folks out there doing bracketology already,
Well,
you know, those kind of things.
To say that a coach doesn't look at
Right.
the future.
Well, they do. You've got to.
Would be asinine. However, a coach.
It's not your job.
A coach does realize this week is the
It's
only
only
week
week
that really matters. You know,
Right.
I think anybody has looked at the brackets as they've been put out to where you fall and this and that. However, just like with your players, coaches have to set the tone of business-like. This is what we're dealing with right now.
Right, you have to.
You have to take care of this before you worry about anything else. So, you know, I think our guys will be ready
Are they
to play.
listening
I think
this
so.
week?
I feel like they are. Now, we're a little beat up and banged up. We've got a couple of players that have been out sick. I think, excuse me, I think both of those that are fighting some sickness right now have been to the doctor. They've got some medications. I think they should be able to go by Friday night. I darn sure hope so.
Right.
And then we've got a couple of kids that are banged up
That are not
with
gonna
some
be able to
ankle
play.
injuries.
That probably
That right now.
are they probable?
Right now, I would say they're
Not giving
50-50.
Not giving names.
50-50.
Right.
You know, so we'll see where we are when we get there Friday night. Hopefully, we can get them on the practice field for a day or two this week and get some work out of them and see how they respond. And then if that's the case, then we could be full strength or we may not be. I just
Right.
don't know yet.
Right. It's going to be a 7:30.
Next man up.
7:30 kickoff over in Jefferson County. I think we want everybody to travel.
No
We
question.
want. I think Dublin travels pretty well. We want to urge everybody to continue to travel, come out. I think the touchdown club's probably going to have a tent set up there with going to be cool. So we'll probably have a big pot of chili over there. Whoever wants to stop by.
Well, that's awesome, and I do want our fans out to know that our JV schedule, we lost our Bleckley County JV game this week because of East and Bleckley, I think, have moved their varsity game to Thursday night. So our JVs picked up Jeff Davis. They're coming to town on
Up here.
Thursday afternoon. We'll play here in Dublin at 5 o'clock. I'm excited about our young JV football team at this
Absolutely.
point. They're undefeated. They're having a good year, and hopefully we can keep that going this week when Jefferson County shows up.
Right, that JV team really has shown a lot of progress this year. It's going to be a great feeder program. What about the following week? What do they have the following week?
We're supposed to have Washington County, and I believe it's at Sandersville.
At Sandersville.
I think.
Yeah.
Don't worry that far ahead.
Right.
We got this week to worry about.
Right. Well, you know, like I say, you had a lot of kids come up from that really, really good middle school team last year that have fallen into your JV program. Those kids have meshed real well with the guys that were already in high school here, formed a good team. Like I say, they're undefeated. A lot of support for those guys I've noticed in the stands when they've played. So
Yeah,
good to get them on the field.
It's a good number of 9th graders and 10th graders out there. I think on our JV team right now, we're probably dressing 30 to 34 kids for a JV game, and there's been years when it's been 16 or 18.
Well,
so we're
right.
excited about that young class. You know, I think Coach was telling me yesterday we've got 31 8th graders that are in the strength and conditioning program right now at the middle school. So hopefully we'll be able to roll in another large class behind them and get Dublin back on solid ground all the way across the board.
And don't tell me you're going to ask us to buy new uniforms again.
We're looking into it, yes, sir. Yes,
I knew
sir.
it was coming, Coach.
Yes, sir.
That'd be awesome, and you know, I
We've
think
done pretty good. We've been in the ones we're in right now for 5 years.
right. I knew it was coming, but you know, with the numbers coming, it's gonna, you know, it's gonna want to take, and I think you've got the community behind you that's gonna help you.
Oh, yeah. I don't ever question community support in Dublin, Georgia, because football is important, and they
Right.
want us to have a first-class program.
Right. With that being said, we want everybody to travel. We want everybody to come over to Jefferson County. Then we'll have East Lawrence back in the Shamrock Bowl the following week.
Yep.
And then we'll be on the road to Swainsboro, I think, to finish the regular season up. With that, Coach, we'll see you next week with highlights from Jefferson County.
Great.
Hey, my name's Chandler Gerard.
I'm Kyle Gerard with A+ Flooring and Construction. And here at A+ Flooring and Construction, we believe in teamwork.
Come let our team service you with flooring, construction, and garage doors.
So come shop with us at A+ Flooring and Construction at 371 Georgia Highway 338 or visit our website at aplusconstruction.biz.
Or give us a call at 478-676-2662. Thank you.
You've dreamed about the perfect house, a place to call your own, and a place to not only stretch out, but to grow. Auto Owners protects your house because to you, it's home. That's simple human sense.
Ask Curry Maffett Insurance in Dublin if Auto Owners make sense for you.
Happy to help, man. I was just over there talking to myself anyway.
Hi, I'm Tom Dominy. Here at Dublin Wind Nelson, we pride ourselves on providing the industry's highest quality products at the most competitive pricing. We are a full-service wholesaler specializing in plumbing, irrigation, and industrial products. With a staff that collectively offers more than 50 years of expertise, our team knows your industry, and we can answer your questions and help you get the parts and equipment you need. From mowing to Renee, we carry the plumbing, irrigation, and industrial products you need from the brands you trust. We also carry a great lineup of Milwaukee tools. At Dublin Wind Nelson, our goal is the long-term success of your business. We achieve that goal with a simple commitment, doing things right, one customer at a time. If you have a question, or if you're looking for a hard-to-find part, give us a call. Our experts are ready to help. Order online, give us a call, or come by at 507 Airport Road in Dublin. We're committed to building long-term relationships with our customers by earning your business every day.
Badcock Home Furniture and More is your home store, where you'll find great savings on new living room sets, sofas, love seats, recliners, and more. Badcock Home Furniture and More has great savings every day on bedding and bedroom sets. Shop Badcock Home Furniture and More for a great selection of dining room sets. And save every day on electronics and appliances at Badcock Home Furniture and More, 1927 Highway 441 South in Dublin. Call 275-3144 for more information, or stop by and see Wendy and Tim Sumner or any of their friendly staff today at Badcock and More Home Furniture Store, where no credit is ever refused.